Hi guys, welcome to Life is for the Living. I hope y'all doing good. I'm doing much better. Um, Thank you guys for those who've been, texting and calling me and just appreciating the fact that I'm back. You know, I don't take this for granted. All right, so today I want to talk about something that has been, going on in the news, in the papers. People been talking about it. It's not a very nice topic, but then it's there. It's something that affects our society, and I say in this channel we talk about everything that deals with life. Now it's about how people are killing each other, and especially I want to just concentrate on spouses. Like when a husband kills a wife, or the wife decides to take the life of the husband, or the parents decide to kill themselves and take the lives of the children. Now, this is something that is going on in our society, and it's now really increasing at an alarming rate. But now, again, just disclaimer, I'm not an expert, but it's just some of the things that I think might be causing this. Now, some of the reasons that I think are causing this, one, it's anger. Now, sometimes, okay, we have this premeditated kind of murder where someone, plans and takes time and thinks about it before they actually commit the actual act. And then there is this, and actually that would be a result. Maybe you made someone angry and then you kept repeating the same mistake or something that can lead to that. Or there's this just sudden anger where you're having an argument and someone picks up something and hits the other person, and something happens and the person dies. That would be one of the reasons. Another reason would just be selfishness. You know, some people are just selfish. Like they don't think about the repercussions of the actions, the things they do. Now, for instance, you decided to get married. Be it the man, you decided to, you know, engage this lady and then decide to marry her, or the lady, you decided to be engaged to a certain guy and then get married to them. And then after some time, someone just decides, like, okay, I'm done with you, or I need something better. And then you go behind your partner's back and then engage yourself in an extramarital affair. Now, that's just being selfish. Like, would it be okay if your partner, or would you be okay if the other party did the same? So that's just being selfish. Another reason why I think this thing is happening or it's on the rise is because of lust. Sometimes whatever that actually makes you do it, if you're given time to go through it, probably you wouldn't have done it. Another reason as to why I think people are killing each other, and actually that is one of the major things actually is property. Now, and usually now with property it will be more of the ladies killing the guys, or whoever, whichever partner has more property. But actually in our African society, in most cases you'll find the man has amassed more wealth, and then now the lady sees you're bringing someone into the affair, your marital, the equation, it's starting not to balance. Probably she found you when you didn't have anything, and she was with you for years when you're looking for the money and for the property, and now you've become rich and now you decide to bring other people. So what do? They decide, all right, I'm not going to share any of this property, and they organize, and they either do it themselves or organize and have you killed or harmed to an extent that probably you succumb to the injuries. Now, another reason that I think this happens, now this now even what's one of the reasons that just makes me feel a bit angry. Now, before something happens like that, sometimes you find there are always telltale signs. For instance, let's say for women, now in our African society, Like, for instance, let's say you had a fight, or you're in an abusive, let's say a physical abusive marriage, and maybe you go back to your home. What they normally do is, sometimes in most cases they will tell you just go back. And maybe if your mother went through the same, they're like, I also happen to be like that, and see, I'm still here. Now, as parents, sometimes parents contribute to the death of their children. When you're sending your child back to a violent environment, maybe without even mediation, or maybe your child comes, like, has been complaining and telling you, and every other time you're like, you're whiny, you need to just stick to the marriage the way you stuck to it. And then eventually what happens, you end up burying your daughter, probably you end up burying your son, depending on who the aggressor is. So these are some of the reasons that you find, marital killings are on a rise. Or sometimes when, say, a husband wants to take in a second wife. Now, in other religions, we all know that in some religions, like, it's permitted for, someone to marry more than one wife. But then in others, either the woman decides that there's no way you're going to bring somebody in here, or the man decides, because I'm the man of the house, I'm going to do whatever I want to do, whether you like it or not. Because there was that case where someone just killed the wife. I think it was in collaboration with the mother-in-law, just because the wife said, she's not for the idea of you marrying a second wife. Now, are the killings really necessary? Now, first of all, some of the things. Now, let's assume you're the one who, like, the potential target, like, you're going to be killed, and in most cases because of your actions. For instance, let's say it's a man, you decide to have an extramarital affair, and then the wife decides to plot, then have you killed. Now, before you even engage in those affairs, first of all, you need to know who you're dating, or who your wife is, or who your spouse is. Like, what is their, how do they handle situations like that? Because sometimes if you don't know how their mental status is, and in most cases probably, like, by the time someone decides to do an act like that, it is heinous, but then it's not something that someone just wakes up and realizes you cheated yesterday and they kill you today. That person who kills you must have thought over it, must have, in most cases, like, maybe had several opportunities to do it. And especially, let's say you sleep on the same bed. This is someone, maybe at night maybe you come at 2 in the morning, you come at 3 in the morning, in the wee hours of the night, you come, you're drunk, you're from seeing another person, you come, you sleep, the person who will kill you probably has looked at you while you're sleeping and just thought about so many ways of just getting rid of you, and then it's just like, today is not the day, until maybe the day they snap. So you need to check with your partner, what is their mental status like. If, let's say, something changes, then if you don't address the issue, this is how it ends up, in one person dead or all of you dead. We have cases where someone decides to poison the entire family. Someone decides to, so it's always good to check how the other person is doing. Two, we need to stop being selfish. Now, for instance, I'll throw this question out there for whomever who will watch this video. Usually, when a man cheats or brings infidelity into the home, in most cases, the man expects to be forgiven. But a man or men hardly forgive infidelity. Why is that? Aren't you doing the same thing? I don't know. I'm just leaving this question there pending. So if you think it's something that you can't excuse, why are you doing it? Now, in my opinion, I know it's not easy. And I've not been in that situation, so as I said, I'm not an expert. I'm just airing the video in my channel based on stuff that I see. Why can someone just leave? I know it's not easy. But then, once you end up dead, of what use are you to the society, to your family? Yes, like especially in Christianity, they say divorce sometimes is not accepted. But then I think that is selfish because I think if the Bible accepts at some point grounds for divorce, and infidelity is one of them. So why can someone just leave? Or why can't you just divorce someone? So, and especially I think for women, it becomes a little bit hard because maybe you found them when they were young and now they've given birth to many children and they're thinking like they are now old, nobody will take them. So they decide to just get rid of you if it's not maybe for property reason or maybe, yeah, because for property there's some gain over there. But sometimes people feel like the shame, like they were with you through thick and thin and now you're doing whatever you're doing, so they decide, no, I'm not going to let anyone just come and enjoy this. But at the end of the day, let's say you kill and you get caught, and now it's no use, because of course people say I'll kill him or I'll kill her and I'd rather rot in jail. But are we thinking about other people here, like the children? Like for instance, when a mother decides to kill the father, are you thinking about the children? You see, the thing is, the infidelity is just being brought to you. But what of the people who call this man father or people who call this woman mother? Do people ever think about that? Do they? Now, my my advice, I don't know, is like however hard it is, I think you're better off away with, alive. If it's property you can always get, rather than maybe rotting in jail or maybe ending up dead because the society is forcing you, or you're thinking like what would people say if you left. And it's even worse when someone goes to the extent of, let's say, killing maybe the side chick. Yes, maybe the side chick knew the husband, the guy was married and stuff, but then who has the contract here? It's your husband. So when you go and kill the third party also, again, that is to the extreme, and it's something that's happening, and our society is just, we're not dealing with it in a way probably that should be dealt with. So many kids are being left orphans, nobody to take care of them because of these things. I think probably now in this case where it has reached, we need to borrow a leaf maybe from the western side, where if you fall out of love with somebody, you let them go, divorce them. But then the thing is, the man doesn't want to let the woman go, but you're still doing those things under, in the same roof where you people are. So what does the woman do? Decides to take your life. What does the woman do or the spouse do if the other side, they decide to take the lives of the children plus their own lives? Which, these are some of the things that leave generational curses. These are some of the things that you find in future, like it happens again to your children because something maybe your grandfather, your parents did. So I think it's a high time, like if it's not working, instead of taking someone's life, instead of taking your life, you just let them go. As hard as it might seem, I think it's way better than taking someone's life. Just take the bold step and leave. And if you're a man, now let's say you want to take in a second wife, then why keep, if you have the balls of steel and you want to get another woman, why keep her a secret? Why not come and talk to your wife about it? Most men don't. They just take in a second wife or take in another person, thinking like there is nothing a woman can tell me. But you're risking the lives of many. Not only your life, the life of the person you're taking in, and also the lives of your children, because what happens to the children once you're dead? You're of no use to them. So anyway, guys, that's all I wanted to say. I know it's not a very easy topic. It's not something that people want to talk about. It's something that people talk about in hushed tones. But I say it is what it is. This channel is for the living, and as long as we're still alive, we're gonna talk about it. Guys, until next time, be well. Bye bye.